Like, who made him the guy who knows posts? Like, what? Because he bought Twitter? Like, he automatically knows what good posts are? Like, he's probably the most famous awful poster. Anyway, let's get to the motherfucker Elon Musk. Elon Musk went on Tucker Carlson, and this is gonna be funny. I hope. All right, let's watch. Elon Musk reveals the new goals for
bought Twitter because he used Twitter. It's as simple as that, and he was infuriated by Twitter's effort to silence people on the internet. That's how strongly he believed in free speech. He paid $44 billion and immediately lost tens of billions of dollars doing it. And when he took over and looked behind the curtain, he discovered Twitter was really a tool of the global intel agencies to spy on people and emit propaganda. Here it is. You bought Twitter famously. You've got a lot of other businesses and a lot going on.
Yes.
You said you bought it because you believe in speech, free speech. You've had a lot of hassle since you bought it. And
yeah, suck this immigrant billionaire's dick, Mr. White working class defender of rights. First of all, he didn't buy Twitter because he cared about free speech. He bought Twitter because he was forced to buy Twitter because he thought he could like meme his way out of it. Okay. Secondly, since then, he has not done a single thing that is remotely pro-free speech. How dare you?
In retrospect, was it worth buying it?
I mean, it remains to be seen as to whether this was financially smart. Currently, it is not. We just revalued the company at less than half of the acquisition price.
Did you really?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, my timing was terrible for when the offer was made because it was right before advertising plummeted and
you caught the high water mark, I noticed.
Yeah. So I must be a real genius here. My timing is amazing. Since if I had bought it for at least twice as much as it should have been bought for. But some things are priceless, and so whether I lose money or not, that is a secondary issue compared to ensuring the strength of democracy, and free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy.
Yes.
And the speech needs to be as transparent and truthful as possible. So we've got a huge push.
No one forced you to buy it, dumbass. No. You're wrong. The Delaware courts absolutely forced him to buy it. So you're wrong. I mean, no one forced him to sign the contract originally, but certainly someone did force him to buy Twitter. That was the beautiful Delaware courts that said, no, you have to buy Twitter or, like you said you would, or pay $1 billion to Twitter for violating the contract, which was awesome because I'm not kidding. He would have been better off if he just paid off that $1 billion. I'm not even kidding. I'm almost certain that he would have been better off if he just paid that $1 billion and just fucking moved on. His net worth has been halved in the process. Not half, but like he's lost a significant chunk of his net worth in that process. He didn't actually have that option. No, I thought there was a contract violation penalty, which would have been higher than $1 billion in general. The $1 billion penalty wasn't just if he wanted to pull out. If it was only if something else came up that would stop it. Are you sure about that? Every one of these, every finance person I talked to said that there's always a carve out, and that they were speaking on it as though there certainly was a $1 billion penalty for like wasting someone's time. Man hasn't recovered to 40K viewers. Yeah, I should just stop doing what I'm doing. I can't believe I only have 29,581 viewers.
On Twitter to be as truthful as possible. We've got this community notes feature, which is great.
It is great.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like...
I saw it this morning.
Yeah.
It was far more honest than the New York Times.
It's great.
Yeah.
We put a lot of effort to ensuring that Community Notes does not get gamed or have biases. It is simply cares about what is the most accurate thing. And sometimes truth can be a little bit elusive, but you can still aspire to get closer to it.
Yes.
And so. And I think the effect of Community Notes is more powerful than people may realize, because once people know that they could get noted, community noted on Twitter, then they'll think more carefully about what they say. They're likely. Basically, it's an encouragement to be more truthful and less deceptive.
When you jumped into this, though, when you bought it, did you understand? Well, clearly you understood its importance. You wouldn't have bought it.
Twitter, yes.
Right. But it's not the biggest, but it's the most important in the social media companies. But
this man has been community noted more than anyone else. Like anytime he's not reposting some shitty 9gag meme after cleverly editing like the watermark out or whatever, cropping out the watermark, I take that back. Half the time, even his fucking shitty divorced dad memes get community noted because it features like some level of misinformation. He can't walk away from his deal to acquire Twitter by paying the agreed upon $1 billion breakup fee. It's not that simple. Oh, a reverse breakup fee paid from buyer to target applies if there's an outside reason a deal can't close, such as regulatory intermediation or third-party financing concerns. A buyer can also walk if there's fraud, assuming the discovery of incorrect information is so-called material adverse effect. That's why he tried to do the bot thing. So he would have ate the $1 billion punishment on top of but he would still need to find something. He would still need to find any reason to be able to break away from the contract, and he still would have paid the $1 billion fee, and he tried desperately to do so. And they couldn't fucking come up with a reasonable thing that provided material adverse effect, because he knew that there were bots when he was buying. He very deliberately and very specifically said one of the biggest problems with Twitter is bots before he bought the fucking platform. And then he said, "Oh no, I'm 100% going to buy this platform, sign off." And then he tried to say, "Oh, the bots are actually a big problem." Bitch, you know the bots exist. You can't, and you signed off on it. You can't fucking turn around and now say, "Well, I know I signed off on the bots, the full knowledge that the bots exist, and said I would buy the platform regardless. But now I feel like the bot's existence is causing a material adverse effect." It's built into it. Its revenue is still the same.
But did you understand the kind of ferocity you'd be facing, the attacks you'd be facing from power centers in the country?
I thought there'd probably be some negative reactions, yes. So I'm sure everyone would not be pleased with it.
Man, this guy's such a champion of the workers. This Tucker Carlson guy, big champion of the working class. I'm always doing direct PR for one of the richest people on the planet, who was the richest person on the planet until he made this incredibly idiotic decision.
But at the end of the day, if the public is happy with it, that's what matters. And the public will speak with their actions. The
public is literally not happy with it.
If they find Twitter to be useful, they will use it more, and if they find it to be not useful, they will use it less. If they find it to be the best source of truth, I think they will use it more. Now there's obviously a lot of organizations that are used to having sort of unfettered influence on Twitter that no longer have that.
Well, you stripped the New York Times of their badge this morning, and then you called them diarrhea. You called them. You did. I'm just quoting you. You described their Twitter feed as diarrhea.
I said it was the Twitter equivalent of diarrhea.
Okay, it's not literally diarrhea, but
no, it's it's a metaphor, but an accurate one. So, if you look at NY Times Twitter feed, it's unreadable. It's because what they do is they tweet every single article, even the ones that are boring, even ones that don't make it into the paper. So,
dude, what is happening? this fucking piece of shit was never even a good poster to begin with. Like, I mean, fuck the New York Times and fuck their Twitter page. But it's so odd that, like who made him the guy who knows posts? Like, what? Because he bought Twitter? Like, he automatically knows what good posts are? Like, he's probably the most famous awful poster. God, I absolutely despise this, man. I hate how much people dick ride him still. They love, dude, people love dick riding mediocre shitheads, dude. I swear to God. This is probably what my haters think about me, okay? I assume. When they're like, they see all of you guys defending me and supporting me, and they're like, fuck this Hasan guy. I hate him so much. I can't believe these motherfuckers, like, defend him. Ah! And you get, like, bloodthirsty. I get it. I understand. I understand where my fucking haters are coming from. Except the difference is, like, I am nowhere near as fucking omega cringe as Elon is, or as powerful. The reason why you hate me is because I'm very similar to you in many respects.
So it's just nonstop, is zillion tweets a day with no. They really should just be saying, like, what are the top tweets?
Yes.
You know, like, what are the big stories of the day? I don't know. Put out like 10 or something. You know, so some number that's manageable. As opposed to right now, if you were to follow NY Times on Twitter, you're going to get barraged with like hundreds of tweets a day.
Yeah.
And your whole feed will be filled with NY Times. So. This is something I would recommend actually for all publications, which is for your primary feed, only put out your best stuff. I think I know a thing or two about how to use Twitter because I was the most interacted with account on the whole system before the acquisition, before the acquisition closed. I didn't have the most number of followers, but I had the most number of interactions, and so I clearly know something about how to use Twitter. You know, people's attention is limited.
I don't know what to say about this. Like, this is so pathetic. He said, I know a thing or two about engagement. I'm one of the most prolific users of the platform. Yes, bro, you're mentally ill. I say this as a mentally ill person who's also a prolific Twitter user who understands the platform very well. Why the fuck are you on Tucker Carlson and be like, dude, dog, you don't understand how mentally ill I am. Okay? My mental illness is out of control. It's crazy. Guess what, though? Out of two mentally ill people, only one person bought Twitter for $44 billion, a platform that is now worth half of that. Who now spends most of his time just posting epic memes that he found on 9gag.
Limited, so just
On autism isn't a mental illness. Man, I'm not talking about autism. Okay? There are plenty of autistic people that don't fucking post. Okay? There's something else. There's a different kind of like insanity that forces you constantly to fucking post on Twitter. And I say forces, like you can't stop it.
just make sure you put the stuff that's most important there.
So because, you and people like you do interact on Twitter, it's obviously enormously powerful in shaping public opinion. It's where a lot of ideas and trends are incubated.
Yeah.
That's why you
Absolutely.
bought it. It's also a magnet for intel agencies from around the world. And
yes.
One of the things we learned after you started opening the books is that they were exerting influence from within Twitter.
I mean, it was absurd.
Did you know that going in?
No. Since I've been a heavy Twitter user since 2009, it's sort of like I'm in the matrix. I mean, I can see like do things feel right? Do they not feel right? What tweets am I being shown as recommended? I get a feel like what accounts are making comments. Where are the comments eerily similar?
Yeah.
And then you look at the account, and it's just obviously a fake photo, and it's just obviously a bot cluster
Yes.
over and over again. So I started to get like just more and more uneasy about the Twitter situation. I was starting to feel like something's wrong in the state of Denmark here. Something feels wrong about the platform. It seemed to be just drifting in a. I couldn't place it exactly. Just it felt like it was drifting in a bad direction. So then I was like, and my conversations with the board and management seemed to confirm my intuition about that. But basically, I was convinced these guys do not care about fixing Twitter, and I had a bad feeling about where I was headed based on the conversations I had with them. So then I was like, you know what, I'll try acquiring it and see if acquiring it is possible. Now I didn't have enough cash to acquire it, so I would need support from others.
God, I love this. This is extremely my shit. Turns out, I still like watching Elon Musk be a fucking bumbling baboon on camera. Elon Musk's the living, breathing personification of the idea that meritocracy is a lie, okay? The concept of meritocracy is absolutely dumpstered, eviscerated when you take one look at Elon Musk, talk about anything, okay? Like, this man supposedly runs companies, okay? All he's doing is tweeting. The shittiest memes. Everything he said right now is a lie. About how he's like, oh man, I really wanted to make sure, I saw free speech is under attack. That's why I bought it. It's just a lie. Tucker Carlson, of course, is, supposed to call him out, but he won't because he's a pussy. He's a bitch. But he's not even doing PR that well. Like, think about it. Think about purchasing Twitter for $44 billion and then trying to justify that decision. You got owned. You got fucking so super omega owned. You got super duper owned. There's no way you can do PR around that. That's it.
From some of the existing investors, I would also need like a lot of debt, and so it wasn't clear to me whether an acquisition would succeed, but I thought I would try. And ultimately, it did succeed. Anyway, here we are.
But when you got there and all of a sudden you own it and all the data on the servers belongs to you. And
well, it belongs to the people in my view, but yes.
But you can see what it is, and you can see what they've been doing, and you can see who's been working there. You were shocked to find out that various intel agencies were affecting its operations?
The degree to which various government agencies had effectively had full access to everything that was going on Twitter blew my mind. I was not aware of that.
Would that include people's DMs?
Yes. Yes, because the DMs are not encrypted. So one of the things that we're about to release is the ability to encrypt your DMs.
That's pretty heavy duty, though, because a lot of well-known people, reporters talking to their sources, government officials, the richest people in the world, they're DMing each other. And the assumption, obviously, it was incorrect, but was that that's private, but that was being read by various governments?
Yeah, that seems to be, yes.
Yeah, and I gave all of that access to Matt Taibbi, whom I no longer like and have unfollowed. Tucker should ask if they're still doing it and then watch him fucking tap dance so that Tucker can also turn around and tap dance on his dick like he's been doing this entire time.
It's scary.
Yes, it is. So, like I said, we're moving to have the DMs be optionally encrypted. I mean, there's like a lot of DM conversations which are, just chatting with friends. It's not important.
Of course.
It's hopefully coming out later this month, but no later than next month, is the ability to toggle encryption on or off. So if you are in a conversation you think is sensitive, you can just toggle encryption on, and then no one at Twitter can see what you're talking about. They could put a gun to my head, and I couldn't tell. I couldn't. That's sort of the gun to the head test. If somebody puts a gun to my head, and can I still not see your DMs? That's the acid test.
Yes.
And that's how it should be if you want your.
Have you had complaints from various governments about doing this?
I haven't had direct complaints to me. I've had sort of like some indirect complaints. I think people are a little concerned about complaining to me directly in case I tweet about it. They're like, uh-oh. So they're sort of trying to be more roundabout than that. you know, I mean, if I got something that was unconstitutional from the U.S. government, I would say, my reply would be to send them a copy of the, you know, First Amendment, and just say like, what part of this are we getting wrong?
You have a lot of government. You have a lot of government contracts.
What part of this are we getting wrong? Please tell me.
I mean, it's a pretty. No, I'm just saying. But you're kind of exposed in your other businesses. So this is just in case our viewers aren't following this. This is not. You're not just like a journalist taking a stand on behalf of the First Amendment. You're a guy with big government contracts, giving the finger to the government. Do you think Twitter will be as central to this presidential campaign as it was in the last several?
I think it will play a significant role in elections, not just domestically, but internationally.
I haven't covered Matt Walsh's hacked Twitter account yet, but there's a lot more spiciness than just his Twitter account. It seems that the hackers actually accessed his emails and have access to 20 years of emails from Matt Walsh. And the journalists who actually covered the story and found the hacker and contacted the hacker and talked to the hacker got banned off of Twitter today. So that stuff is pretty wild. There's a lot to that story. I will get to it in a little bit. So yeah. This Tucker Carlson interview sucks. It's like worse than I thought it was going to be.
The goal of new Twitter is to be as fair and even-handed as possible. So not favoring any political ideology, but just being fair at all.
Why doesn't Facebook do this? I know that Zuckerberg has said, and I take him at face value, that he, I do actually in this way, that he is a kind of old-fashioned liberal who doesn't like to censor. He has, but he, you know, like why wouldn't a company like that take the stand that you have taken, which is pretty rooted in American traditional political custom, you know, for free speech?
My understanding is that Zuckerberg spent $400 million in the last election, nominally in a get-out-the-vote campaign, but really fundamentally in support of Democrats. Is that accurate or not accurate?
That is accurate. Yes.
Does that sound unbiased to you?
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Mark Zuckerberg famously loves liberalism in general. Dude, what are you talking about? Look at results, man. I thought you were a results-oriented motherfucker. Literally the most right-wing website. Still worse than Twitter. Like, Twitter looked at Facebook and was like, how can we be more like Facebook? He's just jealous. He's on Tucker Carlson's show trying to talk shit about Mark Zuckerberg and be like, oh, he's actually a liberal. Please don't use his platform if you want to do right-wing conspiracies. Please use mine instead. Don't use his platform to do Nazi pedophile stuff. Twitter is now the #1 Nazi pedophile website. I will unban you as long as you say you were unjustifiably banned because of libtards. Libtards, I say. 9gag. Omega troll, epic. Epic meme. I did it. Please. Look at my deformed penis.
So you don't see hope that Facebook will approach this as a non-aligned arbiter? You've allowed Donald Trump back on Twitter. He hasn't taken you up on your offer because he's got his own thing.
Right.
Do you think he will go back on Twitter?
Well, that's obviously up to him. You know, my job is to, I take the freedom of speech just very seriously. So it's you know, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I actually voted for Biden. Not saying I'm a huge fan of Biden, because I think that would probably be inaccurate. But you know, we have difficult choices to make in these presidential.
Is he unironically loves Elon Musk? No, he doesn't. There's 0% chance. No, excuse, he just loves whatever fucking 12-year-olds love. Okay, he's like, oh man, dude, he's so funny, dude.
Elections, it's not.
No shot. I don't even fucking believe that. I don't even believe that he loves Elon Musk. No
I would
fucking
prefer,
shot.
Frankly, that we put someone, just a normal person, as president. Yeah. A normal person with common sense, and whose values are smack in the middle.
I swear last year you were sucking off Elon so hard. You mean when I had his baby mama on the broadcast and directly shit on him with his baby mama Grimes on the broadcast? Is that, you think I was sucking Elon Musk off last year when I had the mother of 2 of his children on this broadcast sitting right there? Bro, Chatter's living a totally different universe. You know what I mean? Like, my haters live in a different plane of existence. They're like, sorry, my bad. I actually just did a astral projection into your fucking planet. And I was just thinking about the other universe that I came from, where you were actually sucking off Elon Musk last year. Might be
Of the country, just center of the normal distribution. And I think that would be great. I think we have made maybe being president.
So the headline.
Twitter was absurdly overstaffed. Elon Musk tells Tucker his trajectory is depressing as hell. Things are getting weird fast. I didn't want to watch this.